Hi, Fiona. So,
Hello.
hello. How was your August?
It's been good. It's been good. Much busier than expected. Actually, we found at the beginning of August we had quite a burst, and that doesn't usually happen in August. It usually happens in September. People are usually busy going on holiday and looking after children. So, yeah, it's been a very positive surprise actually, but very nice.
Well, that's interesting because August is generally quieter, as you say, and we felt it a little bit. People are on holiday, and also here in the UK. The weather plays a factor whether a market is busy or not. So because we got finally a bit of sunshine, everybody tried to use those nice days as much as possible, and in effect. It kind of reflected to what's been on the market. I've noticed when I looked at the local statistics that 1,405 properties were listed, which was slightly less than in July. In July, it was 1,457. However, having said that, it was still more than last year, because last year what was listed in August was only 1,218 properties. So it kind of fits to what you are saying, that you would usually see market being busy a little bit before us, because people go first to you for mortgage advice before they start looking. Generally, we've got a lot of people who just look and then go to mortgage advisor, but generally it's the other way around. Uh, I have also noticed that the sales agreed in August in our area where we cover was 211, which was pretty much almost on par with last month. One thing that is really interesting is that there were less reductions. There were only 130 reductions in our areas, and it's really nice to see, because that would suggest that sellers are starting to accept the realistic price of their property at the current market. And I would hope that also agents are being more realistic at the valuing. You mentioned something about would you read that two-thirds of properties are still overpriced. Do you want to cover that little bit?
Yeah, it was just an article that I was reading that was, and it did state that a lot of properties still need to be reduced. There is still like a bit of an inflated price for some of these properties that are on the market. And it did make me think, I am speaking to clients who are telling me my property's been on the market for a little while now and it's not going. The market must be quiet. And I'm thinking, well, actually, I'm seeing an increase in the market. Maybe it's something to do with the price of the property. Maybe that's the issue. Because it does seem to be a problem at the moment. Things seem to be sticking a little bit. And I did wonder if maybe the properties, maybe people needed to have a bit more of a sort of realistic vision of what the property will actually sell for.
Yeah, I agree with that, because we get that a lot when we speak to people who come to us and seek assistance with selling their property that was previously on the market, and you often find out that the property was probably priced unrealistically, and it's always very challenging situation. It's much easier if you're looking at the properties on an estate where you've got a row of properties. There are, say, semi-detached houses, and you can compare easily to what has sold also for the mortgage surveyors, for example. You just look at the interior. Has there been any extensions? It's easier to compare than if you, for example, look at rural properties where you are selling unique barns. Yet there is still certain matrix, and there is always ceiling for everything. And at the end of the day, the property is worth what somebody is willing to pay for it. So if the property is not selling, it's important to check whether it's the presentation of the property or promotion, such as where the property is being advertised, or it's a price. And generally, it will be price, because as you said, there is still the expectation. So it's good to see that the amount of reduced properties has been lesser than, for example, last year, and also last month. Means that there is more of acceptance. I always say to people, this is what I feel is realistic value, and if they saw I was hoping for more, well, you can list it for whatever you want, but you want the property to sit on the market for a long time, and then you end up reducing anyway, and probably end up with little bit less than if you just priced correctly. So that's quite good to see that this self-adjustment is happening. I actually wanted to ask you something about the mortgages, because there are always news and headlines about what is happening, and we know that we shouldn't be always listening to news or believing to the news. That is always important when we see some news to do actually your own research. And I just read that mortgage approvals have increased. Would you just want to comment on it a little bit? What is your real experience?
I'm not so sure that I've seen that. I have to say, I do think lenders want to lend. I do feel more now than ever, they're trying to work with brokers to find a way to lend. They're coming back and asking more questions if they're not sure about something. Instead of it maybe being a straight out decline previously, they're coming back and working with us and saying, look, we want to lend on this, but can you give us some more information? Because at the moment, we're not quite there. So I think maybe that could be helping, the fact that lenders are working more with brokers to try and establish reasons why they should lend. And we can work with them to put their minds at rest, to explain situations to them. So that might actually be making a difference. But I'm not really feeling that lenders are lending more at the moment. I think lenders always will adjust their prices depending on how much business they want. So, 1 week we're going to see one lender at the top, and they're offering really competitive rates. And then when they've got to a point that actually they've hit their quota, or maybe their service levels aren't quite where they want to be, they say, right, okay, we need to readjust our prices now. We need to drop down that list and get another lender up there at the top and give them the chance. So I think lenders want the business depending on where they're at, with their figures and their service levels. And I've not seen that change or increase. I suppose the only thing I probably can say has increased is the level of applications that are being accepted, because we now have we're now able to speak to underwriters directly with a lot of lenders, which is an amazing thing, because whereas previously there wasn't too much communication, we're now able to give our reasons, why we should fight for that application. So that actually might be helping with acceptance levels.
Yeah.
So that could be something to do with that.
Okay, that's interesting, because again, when you read those news, they either sound all very positive or very negative, depends on what what you want the reader or listener or viewer to think or feel. So it's a really good valid point what you said, that they are probably assessing the applications more thoroughly in terms of and giving leeway, which would increase naturally acceptance. What do
Exactly.
you yeah, what do you think that is going to happen now when we are going into the autumn? Because obviously, we kind of like again, the prediction is that interest rates may drop. Do you foresee the autumn to be busier, or how has it started?
I think so, yes. I think that I'm seeing a lot of people who I've spoken to previously now coming back and wanting advice again. I'm getting a lot of emails from people saying, Fiona, we spoke a little while ago. You've been keeping in contact with me, and now I'm actually ready to speak to you again. This has changed. This has changed. What's my affordability now? It's like people did maybe put moving house or extensions, on the back burner. But now maybe they're feeling more confident about the way interest rates are going to go. And we're definitely getting a lot more inquiries, especially from people we've spoken to before, who now feel that they're ready to make that move. So I think that's really positive. The last 3 months of the year are always a really nice 3 months, actually. I do feel that people are getting excited about, let's get our house up for sale, let's get moved in for Christmas. And it's like, we need to get this done. We need to be in for Christmas. We can't have Christmas in this house. We need to be in the new house. And I'm feeling that now. People are saying, right, we need to get sold. We need to be in for Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of activity, which is nice, and a lot of inquiries coming in.
Yeah, that's great to hear, especially it's similar when you say people are now wanting to be a new home for Christmas. I say to people, if you do want to be in your new home for Christmas, September now is really the time to put your property on the market, because
Oh,
it will take 3-4 months to complete. So if you think about it, we've got September, we've got October, we've got November. So it's just high time to put the property on the market now. So it will be interesting to watch what the autumn brings with various things that the government is doing, and what will be interesting to also take a look at, which I would like to touch a little bit also letting side, and that's what will happen with the cost of living and energy performance rating. I have recently read a publication of Rightmove, where they basically were saying or mentioning how they've done the research on people who are looking at properties with certain EPC rating when they are renting the properties. And I actually don't think that this applies just to renting, because a lot of buyers these days as well are looking at whether the property is energy efficient or not. And if the property is not energy efficient, they want this to be factored in the price, because they want to make it energy efficient. Energy efficiency of the properties is more and more deciding factor for people whether they will rent property or buy. So I always suggest to the landlords to take a look at the energy efficiency of the property and look how much it would cost to actually improve it, because sometimes the improvements are not that expensive. And I'm sure that if we had here an accountant, the accountant would probably say that some of these improvements would be tax deductible. Depends on whether it's improvement on the property, but it would be certainly tax deductible on the sale of the property. So it's certainly something that people should consider. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that you've got the residential side of the market where people are moving into their new home. If I had asked someone what the energy performance rating was of the property they were buying 3 years ago, I don't think they'd have been able to tell me. We'd have had to look it up. But now when I'm asking people, they know. And I think it's becoming more and more of a thing for people. It's important because they're thinking about, what is my mortgage going to cost me every month? And also, what will my running costs of this property be? And we do budget planners with people, so we need to know that kind of information anyhow. So they're definitely asking that question, I think, when they're viewing properties, because they want to know what their running costs will be. And then on the flip side of that, we've got the landlords. Landlords have to make sure that their properties are energy efficiency rating E at the absolute worst.
Yeah.
It's got to be A or A to E. And lenders are asking for this information. Even if you're an accidental landlord, so maybe you own a property, you're living in it, but your circumstances have changed, you want to now rent that property out and maybe move in with a partner or, something like that. If we're going to now rent out that property, the lenders are saying, okay, if you're remortgaging this, we need to see an energy performance certificate.
Yeah.
So it's being asked for when we're submitting applications. And I think the landlords definitely need to be making sure that they're making these changes. And like you say, I think some things are expensive, but other things like maybe some damp proofing or even changing a light bulb can make a difference. I think this is really a time where this is serious now, because any properties that are being mortgaged, especially the buy-to-let ones, the lenders are wanting to see that it's within the regulations. It's a big thing right now.
Yeah. That's a really good point. Obviously, the landlord couldn't let a property with a rating lower than E. It's illegal. So there are exemptions, but you need to apply for these exemptions. But it's fascinating to know that lenders are looking at those as well, and this is something that will be more and more important information or important facet of the property as we continue living. So it's quite important that the landlords or sellers are looking at those things, and they can actually get the information about the improvements from their EPC. But I would say that if somebody doesn't know where to find that information, do get in touch with me, people. I'll point you to the right direction. This information is already available on the government website. But if somebody struggles finding it, let me know. So I think that there's enough information for this early of September. We covered it all, haven't we?
I think so. Yeah. Whistle stop tour of prices, EPC certificates. Yeah, we're done.
We are done. So we'll just get back into it and we'll report at the beginning of October what has gone in September.
I'm looking forward to it.
Perfect. Thank you, Fiona. Have a great month.
Cheers, Shaka. Bye.
Bye.